Unfortunately, we end the story on a depressing note. The CDC has released new statistics on the number of women who binge drink while they're pregnant. So the study by the CDC indicates that 10% of pregnant women in the U.S. have had at least one drink a month while pregnant. Now, before people start freaking out about that statistic, 10% is pretty low, and also having one drink per month while pregnant is not going to destroy your pregnancy, and it's not going to lead to birth defects. However, the report suggests that pregnant women who binge drink tend to do so 4 to 6 times per month or more than once per week. Meanwhile, binge drinkers who are not pregnant tend to keep it to 3 episodes per month. It appears that pregnant women binge drink even more often than their peers. Now, I should also note that for those of you who don't know what it means to binge drink, it means that you've had 4 or more drinks in one sitting. Basically what every American does when they go out. So that's what binge drinking is according to the CDC. Now, of course, there are lots of risks to an unborn baby if you're doing this. He or she could suffer from fetal alcohol spectrum and also physical and behavioral problems. I don't really have much to say about this except for the fact that there are a number of red states right now that are starting to criminalize women who are pregnant and have any type of substance abuse problem. So if they're drinking or if they're doing drugs and they get caught, they will get prosecuted for it and they'll get thrown in jail. And the reason why that's a terrible idea is because you want to give these people help. You want to rehabilitate them. If you prosecute them, it'll actually deter them from coming forward and seeking help. So we have a very backwards way of handling the situation in society, and hopefully we learn from our mistakes in the past. But unfortunately, red states who claim that they're pro-life aren't as interested in rehabilitating these women as they are basically forcing punitive consequences. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Alex, let me start with you. Make your point.
Yeah, I really think that what these women need is help, because it's one thing if you're just having one drink a month. There are enough doctors that say that's okay. But if you're having 4+ drinks, you know that's not okay for your child, that you could harm them. I don't think any mother would actually have the intention of wanting to harm their child, so they have a problem. Maybe they're alcoholics or on the border. They need help because ultimately they are harming themselves and their child.
Absolutely. Really good point. Karamo, make your point.
Where are the families, the father, the support systems, where is the doctors who actually have to work with these women during their prenatal care? It's so many different things that, to bring up to your point and your point, I don't think a mother would intentionally want to hurt her child, but we have to look at where are these support systems that are supposed to be in place to support women while they're pregnant, because that's a key factor here that we have to start looking into, because clearly these women had some type of substance abuse issue before they got pregnant, and it wasn't handled. And so where are the people that were in their lives to say, hey, you are now pregnant and we should step in and support you because you need this extra support. This is a very trying time of your life. Being pregnant, I can only imagine what a woman goes through mentally, physically. So
it's tough.
Yeah, so
it's
if
really
you already had a substance abuse issue, this is only going to compound it and make you want to do more erratic behavior. And so I question those individuals that are in their lives.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, some people might not have a support system, which makes the situation even more terrible. But at the same time, for those who have family members and friends, it is your responsibility to do some sort of intervention and help this person out. So here's the personal question. What's something that's bad for you that you do regardless of how bad it is? Karamo.
I tweet. That's what it is. Because every time I get on Twitter, I start going off. This morning I had an interview with NPR about an article that I wrote in The Advocate, and the asshole told me that it was about HIV in the black gay community.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what, I've changed my mind. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm up to do this fucking interview that you requested. And he's told me that he doesn't think it's a serious issue. And I was like, you white privileged Southern son of a bitch. And I went to Twitter and went off. And immediately, as I did it, my agent called and was like, take that down, take that down, take that down, take that down, take that down. And I was like, yeah, so tweeting is what's bad for me.
Yeah, it's gotten me in trouble too. Yeah, good point. What about you, Alex?
So I have an addiction to keeping up with the Kardashians. It is a problem. I know it's bad for me. I know indirectly I'm promoting narcissism and materialism, but it's like that train wreck that you can't stop watching. It's so good.
I
love
like
it,
crack. Sister. Team Kylie.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. A lot of people are on the same boat. I mean, when I had TV, I definitely watched reality TV shows all the time. The Real Housewives was just one of them, which is so trashy, but it's so good.
Yes.
Okay, so for me, the bad thing that I do is I share too much about my personal life on Instagram. And I was warned like a few weeks ago about how sharing pictures with my boyfriend is a bad idea if I want to grow my fan base, because you're supposed to sell this fantasy to your male fan base. And my response to that was no. I'm not going to sell a fantasy to my fans. That's ridiculous. Like, I want to be as real as possible with them. If they like me because they think there's a possibility that I'll date them in the future, then I don't need them as a fan. Like, I need them to watch the show because they like it, because they enjoy it, because they get informed by it. So that's the one, I guess, bad thing that I do. And if you look at my Instagram page, Ana Kasparian TYT, you're going to see all sorts of things about my personal life. And I love sharing that with the audience.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that does it for the show today. Tell us what you think about the past story we did. Comment in the section below.